Hey y'all, I'm your host Nita and welcome to R&B Central where everything is centered around R&B. I'm going to be giving y'all a bit of nostalgia with the album reviews, commentary regarding the genre and much more as we grow. On this channel, we mainly focus on throwback and old school R&B from about the 70s to about 2015. So if you have any requests, drop it in the comment section below, and if you like what you see in this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Now let's get into the video. Joe Thomas emerged in the early 90s, bringing a smooth, soulful voice to the R&B scene. His debut album introduced him, but it was All That I Am that solidified his place as a leading man in the R&B scene. This album arrived at a time when R&B was flourishing with artists like Babyface, R. Kelly, and Brian McKnight, also dominating the charts. Joe carved his own niche with his sincere delivery and relatable lyrics, often exploring the complexities of love and relationships. All That I Am marked a significant step up from his debut, showcasing a more mature and refined sound. While his first album established his vocal talent, All That I Am demonstrated his artistry and songwriting ability. It was a more cohesive project with a clear artistic vision. The album peaked at number 13 on the Billboard 200 and number 4 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums chart, achieving platinum certification. All That I Am features 12 tracks. The overall tone is romantic and reflective with a blend of soulful ballads and some upbeat R&B tracks. The lyrical content primarily focuses on love, relationships, and emotional roller coasters that come with them. Joe explores themes of desire, commitment, heartbreak, and the complexities of modern romance. Several songwriters and producers contributed to the album. Joe himself was heavily involved in the writing and the production, collaborating with individuals like Edwin Tony Nichols, Joshua Thompson, Julian Skinner, Michelle Williams, Larry Lofton, and Matthias Goose, and I'm going to butcher this name, Gustafsson. Sorry, Matthias, and I probably messed that up. Rodney Jerkins also contributed to the production on one of Joe's most popular singles. These collaborations brought diverse perspectives and musical styles to the album, creating a rich and varied sonic landscape. All the Things Your Man Won't Do. This song was originally released in 1996 on one of my favorite comedy movies, Soundtrack, and don't judge me. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. All the Things was written by Joe himself, Joshua Thompson, and Michelle Williams, and not Tenitria, and produced by Joe and Joshua. This is Joe's first hit song on the US Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 11, peaking at number 2 on the US Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart, and peaking at number 1 on the US Adult R&B Songs chart. It was certified gold that same year in 1996 by the RIAA. All the Things Your Man Won't Do is a beautiful ballad where Joe lets this woman he desires know that basically she deserves better and describes the things he'll do that her man won't do. It's pretty much in the title of the song. He starts the song with an intro of him speaking to the lady. Hey love, you say you need someone to be there for you, to love you all night long. It's kind of funny, but I don't think you have to look no further because I'm right here and I'm ready to do all the things your man won't do. Then he starts singing the first verse and gets straight to the point.
Tell me what kind of man treat this woman so cold, treat you like you're nothing when you're worth more than gold.
Joe is arguably one of the best voices in R&B. His voice is very distinct as well. His delivery in this song is so smooth when he says, "I'll put a string of pearls right in your hand. Make love on a beach of jet black sand. Outside in the rain. We can do it all night. I'll touch all the places he would not. And some you never knew would get you high. Nothing is forbidden when we touch." So smooth. Well, he's smoother than me, but you catch my drift. And I like that he didn't come in so strong in the beginning, just very soft, very demure. Like, let me reel you in slowly. The way he conveys his desire for the woman with such sensuality and sincerity almost makes me believe him, because someone do all that to get you. Then when they got you, moving along. The song features a prominent R&B instrumental arrangement with a slow, rhythmic, smooth bass line and gentle keyboard melodies. Now, the way this song was written, it has 2 verses, and after each verse, he goes into a pre-chorus, the part that, we just sang together, or would y'all consider that a bridge? Because he does that part again. The lyrics a little different in the next part, but he really takes it there after the second verse.
Candles all around. Show me to the subway, I'll go down. Nothing can be sweeter than the sound of making love. Baby, when I start, I just can't.
The lyrics in the second pre-chorus are the same as the bridge. Either way, the pre-chorus and or bridge of the song are absolutely, my favorite parts of the song. Like, don't interrupt me when that part comes on. If you just don't, catch me on a verse or something, you know what I mean? Because as soon as I hear la 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 la, I don't want to hear you. Even if I'm looking dead at you and not singing aloud, I am still singing in my head. I don't hear you. I think I'm just realizing this may be one of my favorite songs. Now, the break is the part of the song that always tickled me. Now, of course, when the song came out, I know what the heck he was talking about when he said, "I'll make your body cream with my sex machine." Fair. But now I know. Now I'm still a little confused. About the "I won't stop until I hear your mother scream." Like, because what, Joe? Like, not her mama. Like, what's her mama screaming for? I don't know. I don't get that part. The Love Scene, the second track on this album and the third release from this album. While researching for this review, I learned that the song is called The Love Scene. I always thought it was just Love Scene. One thing black people gonna do is shorten a title that's already short. Also, during my research, I discovered this song did not chart on the Hot 100 or R&B songs chart. However, it did peak at number 2 on the Billboard's US Adult R&B Songs chart. Now, I'm going to have to do some research on what does that even mean. Like, what was the difference in the R&B and then the adult R&B? Like, what is adult R&B? So, I'm not even sure if that's still a category. But anywho, I was so shocked because this song was in pretty heavy rotation from what I remember. At least it was on my radio. The song did pretty well abroad in the UK and New Zealand, at number 9 on the UK Hip Hop and R&B Songs chart and number 31 on the New Zealand Singles chart. Love Scene was written by Joe Joylin Skinner and Michelle Williams. Produced by Joe and Edwin Tony Nichols. I was curious about who this Michelle with the one L Williams is, and I did a quick search on her to see who she was, but the only thing I could find is that she co-wrote for Joe on a few of his songs. She is credited as a songwriter for his hit song I Wanna Know. Um, but other than that, I couldn't find nothing. So Love Scene is a Quiet Storm classic. The instrumentation on this is typical style of 90s R&B, featuring a smooth, mellow beat, often driven by, a prominent yet subtle bass line. The song has a deeply romantic and intimate tone. Joe's vocals are tender and passionate, conveying a sense of love and longing and devotion. It's a song, designated to set the mood for romance. The lyrics are written in a way that a movie is made, having different takes for different scenes. As he sings each take, you can envision every scene in your head. Take one, baby lying on the bed, exotic fantasies going through her head. Take two, I jump into my SL6, I gotta make my way to the crib mad quick. Take three, I see my baby as I step inside. She's staring at me with those bedroom eyes. Take four, honey sipping on some Chardonnay. The sex is even better when she's feeling that way. Now, if you can't envision, that in your mind, something may be wrong with you. One thing about Joe, he is going to give you a full song. He has multiple bridges and or breaks in this song as well.
Ooh, I'm gonna keep loving you, baby. Oh, we won't stop. We won't stop. Oh, baby. Ooh, 69 was a very good year. Do you remember?
Oh, how the kid in me thought this man was talking about the wine being from 1969. I thought he was taking a sip of wine from her cup, and the wine was from 1969. I remember watching shows and movies then and hearing them always referencing the year of the wine, and it seemed the older the better. So I thought they had some good wine. So that's what I thought. So young, so naive, so innocent. Don't want to be a player. Now, Joe did his big one when he lent his vocals to the hook to Big Pun's Still Not a Player. That song never gets old, and it is my preferred version. Punisher, 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 Big Punisher. Oh, Big Punisher. Now, before y'all get y'all panties in a bunch and y'all draws up your... I do like Joe Thomas's original version as well, but y'all know y'all like the other version better too. Don't Want to Be a Player was written by a team of songwriters including Joe, Japhanie Tejada, Julian Skinner, Michelle Williams, and Rodney Jerkins. Produced by Joe and Rodney Jerkins. Now, Rodney wasn't all up in Joe's song saying, "Dark Child." Joe was probably like, "Nah, we ain't doing all that. You'll get your credit. You'll get your credit." This song was released in 1997 as a single from the Booty Call soundtrack and the second single from his album. So Joe's first and second single from this album were both on movie soundtracks. Don't Want to Be a Player takes us away from the ballads and Quiet Storm vibes and of the album starts with, and it features a mellow mid-tempo beat. The song was a hit for Joe, reaching number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 5 on the Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart. The song has a smooth, soulful, and reflective tone. Joe's vocals are sincere and convincing, conveying a sense of maturity and a desire for genuine connection. Like I mentioned before, Big Pun sampled and featured Joe in his song Still Not a Player in 1998. although the hook and both songs are essentially about the same thing, they give totally different vibes. And I'm not just talking about, big pun version being an up tempo. It's just that I don't believe Joe in that version. I believe in that version he still want to be a player. It's not sincere. He sounds like he still wants to roll with an entourage, celeb style like a movie star. And maybe the video played a role in that thought, but in the original version, I believe him, like he's saying it with conviction. I don't want to be a player. You can hear the sincerity in his voice. Good Girls, one of my favorite Joe songs, released as the album's fourth single. It peaked at number 1 on the US R&B music charts and number 29 on the UK singles chart, and it was written by Joe, Joshua Thompson, and Michelle Williams, and produced by Joe and Joshua. As you may notice, Joshua and Michelle were key contributors to this album. I wish I knew who they were. Sunshine, from the first time that we met, helpless. You took my heart, I must confess. Deep in your eyes, there seemed to be a look that said, hello. Is it me you're searching for? This song tells a story of Joe meeting a woman he is intrigued and interested in, and she seems to be interested as well, but
I don't know if it'll ever come back again. That's what you sunshine, sugar.
I can't explain why, but that is my favorite part of the song. You didn't say you had a man that never belonged within your plans, and it hurts so bad. Someone tell me, why are all the good girls taken every time? He has a man. Unlike in All the Things Your Man Won't Do, where he is, pushing up on the woman regardless of her situation. In Good Girls, he seemingly, backs off, wondering why he can't get a good girl. It's a more heartfelt performance as he feels a sense of, hopelessness. But towards the ending, he affirms himself and sings with conviction. I gotta believe there's a morning for me somewhere in this world. I'm not gonna stop, gonna search till I drop, till I find that girl. Although Good Girls is a single, I don't remember this song being pushed as heavy as, as it was one, at least from my perspective and what I remember. Nonetheless, it remains a fan favorite. How Soon? So this is the first song on the album where Joe did not contribute to the writing or production. How Soon was written and produced by Edwin Tony Nicholas and Gerald Levert, one of my favorite male vocalists. Rest in peace. Listening to How Soon makes me kind of think of Gerald Levert's song Funny. Not the lyrical content, and Funny is more so mid-tempo, but something in the beat. I don't know what the instrument is, but How Soon made me go listen to it. It could be because, Gerald wrote and produced, both, and producers typically have a sound, and that song came to mind. Y'all may not hear it though, and you may think I'm crazy, but let me know if you do. Go listen to Funny and then listen to this song and then tell me if there's any similarities you hear. Every song up to now has been a single. Joe actually released quite a few singles from this album, 6 total. 4 that are not on movie soundtracks. That's definitely not the norm. That's literally like half the album. Typically it's 3 singles, maybe 4, and that's a big maybe. But he been a fool not to include, those songs on the album, as they really help solidify him, as an R&B heavyweight. How Soon is about having a distant lover, a long distant relationship. Joe's vocals are filled with emotion, conveying the ache of, missing someone deeply. There's a sense of transparency and desperate desire to want the person he loves to stay. He sings about her being a career woman and doing what she has to do. It's so hard for me, especially after you've been around distant lovers are what we are. And girl, it's breaking me down. You are a career girl. You gotta do what you gotta do. As much as I want you here with me, girl, I'm so damn proud of you. Although this song was not written by Joe, it still fits the theme and sound of the album. As much as I can hear Gerald singing this song, Joe made it his own and did not attempt to imitate Gerald's singing style, if you know what I mean. Like, that is one thing that I notice when a song is sung by a singer but written by another artist. The singer tends to take on the style of the writer sometimes, or whoever demoed the track, without making it their own. So far, no skips for me. Sanctified girl. Can't fight this feeling. We are now, halfway through the album. Sanctified girl, can't fight this feeling. It picks up the pace with being a mid-tempo, mid to upbeat song. This song was co-written by Joe, Joel Yon Skinner, and Larry Rock Campbell, produced by the latter. So I might need y'all to help me out a bit. Is he expressing he is turned on by this sanctified church girl, or is he calling her sanctified girl because they are having sex in the church, or both? I'm not sure how to actually interpret this song. Oh, I'm so into you. Do what you want to do, sanctified girl. Cause your body got me hoping. And when your body calls, mine always listen. Sanctified girl, cause your body's got me hoping. Or is he saying open? The internet says hoping, but y'all know it be lying sometimes, But that part of the song makes me think he is speaking figuratively, looking down on us from mirrored ceilings. Is he talking about like the stained glass? Y'all listen to it and let me know what y'all think. Overall, this is a good song, although it does give, written in 1992, like maybe he wrote it then and then put it on the album. It still doesn't throw off the flow of the album, I will say that. All That I Am, the title track, the sixth and final single from the album. I'm going to be honest, I never knew this was a single and never saw the video until I started working on this review. I've heard the song, but it was from streaming. I don't recall my radio station in my hometown ever playing this song, and I don't recall the video being in regular rotation on BET or MTV, and I'm thinking it wasn't. Nevertheless, it reached number 52 on the UK singles chart and peaked at number 10 on the Billboard US Adult R&B Songs chart. It was written by Larry Lofton and Maitidas Gustafsson, and I'm probably saying it wrong, and produced by Joe and Edwin Tony Nicholas, someone, if you have noticed, he collabed with quite often. As the title track of the album, All That I Am holds a special significance. It encapsulates the album's overall themes of, love, relationship, and self-discovery. The song has a sincere and heartfelt tone. Joe's deliveries are passionate and earnest, conveying a deep sense of love and devotion. It's a song about offering one's whole self to a relationship, flaws and all. I can't buy you fancy rings or all the expensive things you're used to, baby. No trips around the world, no diamonds or pearls to give to you, baby. But what I have to give is more precious than you'll ever know. My deepest inner feelings, my heart and soul, 'cause all that I am is a man in love with you. 'Cause all that I am is a man whose heart is true and in love with you. Oh, so beautiful. All That I Am is a beautiful song. It's a great wedding song. And one thing every R&B artist needs is a wedding song. If you don't have one, you need to get you one.
Y'all better come up here and get one of these.
While it wasn't a massive crossover hit, No One Else Comes Close reached number 41 on the UK singles chart and reached number 12 on the UK hip hop R&B songs chart. No One Else Comes Close was written by Gary Baker, Wayne Perry, and Joe Thomas, produced by Joe Thomas and Edwin Tony Nicholas. The song has a deeply romantic and passionate tone. It's a song about cherishing the relationship and recognizing that no one else can compare to the special bond shared. Although it was not, necessarily a crossover success for Joe, the song definitely has similar vibes of the ballads of the late 90s and early 2000s. So I can see why Clive Davis wanted Backstreet Boys to cover the song and put it on their third studio album, Millennium. I can also understand why Joe was okay with them covering the song, especially being that it was, released only a few years prior to Millennium. But Millennium went on to sell 27 million copies, and due to the popularity, their version also helped Joe's version, become recognized as well, becoming his fifth most popular song on Spotify. Come Around by Joe is a smooth R&B track that blends elements of hip-hop and new jack swing, moving away from more ballad heavy style. It's a song about expressing interest and inviting his love interest to come around when she doesn't feel like dealing with her man. Now, Joe, who the heck were you crushing on when you wrote this album? You're telling this lady you will do all the things her man won't do, upset because the good girls you wanted was taken, and now you want her to come around and creep on her man. Joe, what you had going on? The song was written by Joe, Joylon Skinner, and Larry Rock Campbell. Produced by the latter. The song has a more upbeat and flirtatious tone compared to some of Joe's other work. It's still smooth, but there's a playful energy to it. Joe's vocals are confident and inviting. I can actually see New Edition singing this song. It kind of gives the feels of Hit Me Up. What's the song? Hit Me Up. Y'all go listen to it and tell me if you hear what I hear. Sometimes I just be hearing stuff. The song is cool. It is a skip over track for me, It's like, it's a good song, but I probably wouldn't want to hear it every time I played the album. It has a very mid-90s trendy upbeat sound. So far I would say on this album, the ballads are the heavy hitters. You Shoulda Told Me You Had a Man. Here Joe comes again, running into the wrong woman. He done fell in love with someone else's girl. In his defense, she lied. 7 weeks of passion, sexing 6 nights a week, left my body exhausted and my knees feel so weak. Now you're acting mysterious, girl. You flip a script and I should have seen it coming, but it happened so quick. So I had all the plans of becoming your man, but you left me here standing with only time on my hands. Girl, I want you, but I don't understand. You should have told me you had a man. The song has a frustrated and somewhat regretful tone. Joe's vocals convey a sense of being caught off guard and feeling misled. The instrumentation is typical of the mid to the late 90s R&B with the smooth up-tempo beat. Cool song, but I feel the same about it as I do the previous track. Love Don't Make No Sense. The album is coming to an end and Joe slowed it down a bit, just a bit. The instrumentation is smooth and soulful, featuring a mid-tempo beat. It's written by Joe, Julian Skinner, and Michelle Williams, produced by Joe and Edwin Nicholas. This is a good album cut. Like I similarly stated before, Joe's slower songs never miss. Joe's vocals exemplify a sense of understanding and acceptance of love's complexities. It's not overly emotional, but rather thoughtful and honest about the ups and downs of relationships. So the album has come to an end, and as you can see, I already reviewed this song. It was track number 8. It's the same song, but the unplugged version. In other words, the more acoustic version. This version is just as beautiful as the original. Many times I do tend to like the live or acoustic versions of the songs better, but for this one, I actually like them both equally. If you have a preferred version, let me know in the comments. Overall, this is a great album. The ballads and mid-tempos really carry this album. And here's the thing. That is most of what this album consists of. So the album is good. There are, upbeat tracks, and while they are good as well, I could take them or leave them, to be honest. With the exception of I Don't Want to Be a Player. All That I Am is definitely worth listening to if it's your first time, and it's worth the replay for those who haven't, you may have heard it before, but it's been a long time. It's not a long album, but like I mentioned before, Joe is going to give you a full song. The longest song is All the Things at 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and they don't make them like that no more. As I was listening to this album, I did notice a few things with the writing. First, Joe is extremely poetic. If you listen to some of the lyrics, it flows even when spoken, and I guess that's why his ballads are superior, which is actually a style of poetry. Not all songwriters do that well. Some are more free verse or spoken word, kind of like a Tidra Moses. Others are more lyric style, like a Jasmine Sullivan, where the writing style is more emotional and maybe even personal. Then you have those that do it all, like a Babyface or Stevie Wonder. And in no shape or form am I saying Joe, Tidra, or Jasmine or their contemporaries are incapable of other styles. It's just that some people just do things better. People have their own lanes. So great album, a lot of classics on there. Like I said before, I think I just realized All the Things, maybe one of my favorite songs. So you can assume that is my favorite cut on the album. Now, mind you, I have a lot of favorite songs, so I'm not one of those people who have a number one song. There's a long list of songs I love. Which ones that are in the top 5? Well, that will depend on the day. So y'all heard what I had to say. Now I need to know what you have to say. Is All That I Am a certified replay? What are your thoughts? Let me know, what's your favorite tracks, and share your memories of this classic album in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell so you can be notified when to come back to relive the soundtrack of your life here at R&B Central.